songwriter and a multi-talented instrumentalist. Each time we come together, music happens. And today we did a song titled I've Got to Have My Freedom Now because Nigeria is calling. Enjoy it. This music is dedicated to Nigerians who are held in shackles of the darkness of ignorance, poverty, and squalor. Nigerians, you got to get up and stand up. Hey, good evening, listeners and viewers from Nigeria, across Africa, and around the world. This is Madu, Ajaja, the Convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International, welcoming you to yet another edition of Matters Arising on ONN. Yeah. And I hope you guys are having fun this great weekend. In the United States, we are going to be having an extended weekend because of Labor Day. I look forward to enjoying it. Yes, get people on board to listen to this very, very historic broadcast. You know, it's something that impacts Africa and by extension the world. Hey! And you know who did this song? It was me and my son. My son is a musician. We sat down together one day and decided to, we asked ourselves, what can we do to wake the people of Nigeria up? And he came up with this idea. Let us take something out of Bob Marley's Sky and put it into something Nigeria. And it was fun. After the rehearsal, we decided to release it, all right? And that is the extent of the love we have for Nigeria, unconditional love, unassailable patriotism. What about you listening to me right now? What can you give to Nigeria? What can you give to Africa? And what can you give to the world? You don't exist as just a non-living thing. You are a living thing with the ability to move, to do all kinds of things. There's something that is peculiar about you that you can positively deploy for Nigeria, for Africa, and for the world. Yes, reggae night yesterday was awesome. The turnout was great, even though we did not start early. The crowd was great. We had fun, for the over 1.5 hours that we were there. Well, we look forward to a huge crowd today to listen to this broadcast today. And we thank especially our new subscribers, those who are joining us for the very first time. What we do, we warmly welcome you to feel at home, feel free to like, click, share, and contribute to our discussion. So I hope you'll be making some moves. And again, to our existing subscribers, those who made us stick, those who stuck, were with us right from the beginning and have maintained that loyalty. There's no way we can ignore you. There's no way we cannot continue to thank you. Yes, we sincerely and very deeply appreciate your loyalty. Yes, and the loyalty to our cause, knowing fully well that what we represent is a global movement for peace and justice, security, and stability. I feel so high and even touch the sky above the falling rain. I feel so good in my neighborhood, so here I come again. We got to have freedom now. We got to have our freedom now. We got to have freedom now. For Africa is calling. Turn I loose. Get up and turn I loose now. Wake up and turn I loose. Africa is calling. Hey, Africa is calling, Nigeria is calling, Kenya is calling. Let's roll. Hey, hip. Stand up for your right. Yeah. All right, we're going to be interjecting with this beautiful song, Just played with it and it came out really pretty good. Yes. Thank you very much. We welcome each and every one of you that is showing up here right at our studio in Houston, Texas, United States of America. Yeah, the issue of discussion today is the obstacle Nigeria poses to the liberation and unification of Africa. So compelling and so urgent that it has to happen. But there's one piece of the puzzle called Nigeria that will, for some time, stand in the way. And this is the reason I am making this broadcast, to wake up my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, to wear the gown of Pan-Africanism and do what they must do to take the lead. Yes, because Nigeria has this massive population. Yes, Africa needs that population. Africa needs that momentum from Nigeria. But as it stands right now, those who are holding Nigeria hostage have nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. I'm not sure they even know what Pan-Africanism means and the importance of it right now. They are strangers working for the imperial forces, working for themselves at the expense and detriment of our people and Nigeria, and by extension, Africa. They are holding Africa down. So this is the reason why we must rally. This is the reason why the people of Nigeria, yes, there are more Pan-Africanists in Nigeria than elsewhere in Africa. But they are not organized yet to create that critical mass of conscious Africans in Nigeria to make a move that will lead to an exodus. They are shut out like they are shut out in countries. They are not even given 1 minute of opportunity to express themselves. Now is the moment. Africa must unite. If Africa does not unite, Africa will be recolonized. And we don't want that to happen in our lifetime. And the obstacle, the greatest obstacle to the unification of Africa as it stands today is Nigeria. Not the Nigerian people. The obstacles holding Nigeria hostage. The corrupt and morally bankrupt elites who are puppets of the forces that enslaved, colonized, imperialized, brought about apartheid in Africa, and are now globalizing the world. Yes, these obstacles are Nigerian made. They are operate inside Nigeria. They are in charge of all the country's strategic institutions that they have destroyed for personal gains, that led to the weakening of the country's moral fabric and the ability of its citizens to ask questions. That is where we are. And we must solve this problem. And the problem must be solved by Nigerians, backed by Africans. So Africans, this is a moment for you. This is a moment for you. Talk to every Nigerian close by. Don't see the problem in Nigeria as only Nigerian problem. It's an African problem. Nigeria has this humongous population. Yes. That if that population moves in the right direction for Africa, Africa will be lighted up. Africa will be set free. So you are from Zimbabwe. You are from Ghana. You are from Sierra Leone, Liberia, Uganda, Kenya. Yes. South Africa, Ethiopia, Guinea. Yes. Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso. This problem is our problem. We must take charge and do what we must do in order to fast track the liberation and then the unification of Africa. It is so compelling. Yes, you don't need anybody to tell you. And this problem that we have today was what our founding fathers saw about 80 years ago. And I'm talking about Emperor Haile Selassie. I'm talking about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I'm talking about Modibo Keita. I'm talking about Julius Nyerere. I'm talking about Jomo Kenyatta. I'm talking about Sekou Toure. I am talking about Amilcar Cabral. I am talking about Samora Machel. I am talking about Abdel Nasser. Yes, they all wanted the unification of Africa because they understood what happened to Africa following the Berlin Conference when the Europeans left after 1884. Yeah, 1884 and 1885 was when they had their Berlin Conference. And the conference was held about Africa to go and balkanize a continent that was not theirs, and then set the people against one another, and set the program for the degradation and retardation of Africa, while they and their countries were progressing. And they were using African resources to fund their healthcare, fund education, fund technology, fund everything at the expense of Africa and the African people, and to the detriment of the African continent. All they left for us, all they have left for us, and has been the program of war, strife, hate, discrimination, destruction, self-destruction. Yes. And for that reason, our founding fathers thought that there could be a way out. And the only way out was right at the beginning to recreate Africa, to do all undo all the damages that they brought about by creating all these artificial boundaries. Nigeria, fake country, Ghana, fake Sierra Leone, fake Liberia, fake, yes, because they were not the creations of the African people. Yes, so these guys were so visionary. They saw 80 years ahead of them. They saw what we are dealing with now as a continent about 80 years ago. And they took a go at it. They had conferences, yes, in Addis Ababa. They broke themselves into two groups, Casablanca group and the Morovia group. The Casablancas were up front. They wanted it now. The other group said they needed some time. I don't know what time they needed, why they needed all that time to do one simple thing that the Europeans took only 2 years to do, to balkanize their continent. They kept on procrastinating. 80 years after, look at where we are. All African countries are in tatters. Yes. Show me one African country that is doing so well. Show me one. And I will tell you why not. So this is the moment. And that is why we have to reinvent that vision. Yes. The vision started about 1900s. When Marcus Mosiah Garvey, yes, when Marcus Mosiah Garvey started the movement for the liberation, for the decolonization of Africa. Yes, there was a physical decolonization of Africa, but the mental decolonization has not taken place. The artificial boundaries still exist. Why should I need a visa to go to Ghana from Nigeria? Why should I need a visa to go to Republic of Benin, just next door neighbor? Why should I need a visa to go to Togo? Why do I have to need a visa to go to South Africa, Sierra Leone, Gabon, and other Kenya? Yes, why do an African need to go? But the Europeans came together. They removed all the obstacles that hinder movement between one European country and the other. They have no borders, but they sustain these crazy borders everywhere in Africa. If I have to go somewhere, I have to go to Ghana, I have to change money to cedis. I have to change in Cameroon. I have to change money in Gabon. I have to change money in Kenya, Uganda, everywhere. They make everything so difficult for us. And they create a situation where we can't even trust one another. We find it easier to trade with Europe than trading with fellow Africans. If you want to make a phone call from Cameroon, for instance, a phone call to Nigeria will first be routed through France before it will come to Nigeria. What kind of thing is that? But in their own places, they make things difficult. They put puppets in power in Africa that will make their program continue to suppress our people, depress our economy, make us beggars when we are the richest. It is time, Africans, it's time we met that border, those borders. Their vision was a borderless Africa. Can you imagine some visionaries thinking about that 80 years ago? They were already thinking what we are now not able to put in practice. They thought about it. In fact, Kwame Nkrumah wanted it fast. There were elements slowing him down because he saw it. The fire was burning in him. Yes. There were some that were put there to slow things down. And by the time their vision go to a crescendo, the imperial powers became so restless and afraid. They were scared about what Africa would be if Africans became united. So what did they do? They started with the Congo, knocked out Patrice Lumumba. Yes, for raising a question, for wanting to do the right thing for his people. They knocked him out. Not only knocked him out, they killed him. Dissolved his body in a concentrated acid. They melted him. The only thing that they left was two teeth, two, that they returned a few years ago. The king of Belgium, Little Belgium, King Leopold, massacred over 12 million Congolese. Massacred over 12 million Congolese. Yes, 12 million Congolese were massacred in their country by little Belgium that is not even the size of my hometown in Nigeria. Yes, they massacred 12 million Congolese without remorse, without recourse for consequences. They did that. Yes, France was doing its own thing elsewhere, doing the same thing. Imperial Britain was doing the same thing in Nigeria, destroying the people, suppressing them. Yes. Yes. So after they knocked out Patrice Lumumba, who was next? Kwame Nkrumah. He was airborne. He was airborne on his way to Vietnam when they used General Kotoka to knock him out. They had their puppet in General Kotoka in Ghana. He overthrew a progressive, an African icon, a man who wanted the best for his continent. Because he told Ghanaians at independence, being the first independent African country, that the independence of Ghana meant nothing if the whole of Africa was not liberated. It is only rare leaders, forward-thinking leaders, visionary leaders that can make that happen. They didn't like that, and they knocked him out. But he had a brother in Sékou Touré of Guinea. Sékou Touré told him, hey, come to Guinea. You will be a co-president of Guinea. So the two of them ran Guinea together. Yes, Kwame Nkrumah and Sékou Touré were presidents of Guinea, co-presidents of Guinea. That tells you the kind of love that existed at the time among the liberators, the frontliners. Yes, Sékou Touré. Yes. And then France was not happy. They destroyed Guinea, destroyed all the infrastructures that they had built, destroyed the sewer system that they had built, because the Guineans did not want them. And they left the country in a mess. The same thing they did in Mali, because Modibo Keita refused to play their ball. He refused to sign away the destiny of his country to France. They destroyed everything that they had built in Mali. Yes. They had their puppet in Houphouët-Boigny in Ivory Coast. The best he could do was to build a basilica. What do an African need with, what reason, what do we have with a basilica? That was the only thing Houphouët-Boigny built. He handed over everything, the future of Ivory Coast, to them. The same thing happened in Gabon. Yes. France stole 500 billion US dollars every year for 60 years from their colonies. They did not allow them to have their reserve banks. Their reserve banks was in France. Yes, all of the 14 colonies of France had their reserve banks in France. They were not allowed to print their own currencies. They were using the France CFA. Now see the trick of France. When the European Union decided to adopt euro, they refused to admit these African countries into their European monetary zone. The African countries are still using the French franc. Yes. This is how degrading these people look down on Africa. Yes. So I want to give this background information about what happened. We talk about different countries how they came into our countries, how they came to South Africa in 1652, justifying their migration with a Bible verse that God, I'm not sure it's the Almighty God that I know, gave them that land in Africa. 1652. They occupied that place. And in 1948, they brought about the apartheid policy. Yes. That made the people of Africa, in South Africa, third-class citizens in their own country. So when are these people going to stop? When are they going to draw a line? So it became a generational thing. They hand over this evil legacy to every generation. They will give it different names, but the fundamentals are the same. The ideology is the same. The methodology is the same. Hold them down, degrade them, make them look like less than human, so you can continue to ride on them. Can you imagine what is happening in Cameroon right now? Paul Biya has been the president of Cameroon since 1982, when I left high school, 40-something years ago. He is still the president of Cameroon. And guess what? He is running in the next election at the age of 92. He has lost his testamentary capacity. He doesn't even know where he is. When he's standing, he's peeing on himself. So this is what France wants for that country and what they want for the whole of Africa. Now I begin to wonder what is happening to the people of that country, just like I'm asking what is happening to the people of Nigeria. And everywhere we have this mess going on. What is taking place? So we have become this crab who cannot think outside the bucket. We can't climb out. We prevent others who want to climb out from climbing out. There has to be an exit route. And this is why we are here. Nigeria presents a huge obstacle, yes, to the liberation and the unification of Africa as it stands right now. The smaller African countries are waking up. They are beginning to ask questions. Yes, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, to some extent, Senegal, waking up. Ghana is waking up. Yes, what is going on with Africa, Nigeria? Nigerians have continually allowed their worst to lead them. Their worst that cannot think outside the box. Their worst that cannot think outside their own pockets. That is the problem we have. It's not just only a problem to Nigeria. It is a problem to the African continent that we all must decisively address. And unfortunately, Africa does not have a strong African Union. The idea of the African Union that Emperor Haile Selassie and Kwame Nkrumah had thought about has whittled, has been damaged. The African Union as it stands today is a pauper union. It's a beggarly union. A union that cannot put a vision together. A union that cannot act on the vision of our founding fathers. It's time to dismantle that union. Yes. So where are the African revolutionaries? They cannot help anyone. The African Union cannot help anybody. They can't help themselves. Their African Union Secretariat was built by China. Yes, was built by China. The African Union takes money, accept money from European Union. Yes, why should African Union be subvented by European Union? Why should African Union be given money by Chinese? Why should China be the one coming to build African Union Secretariat on the soil of Africa? Where are our engineers? Where are the African architects? Yes, where? What's happening? And then we want to be free. We can't be free if we cannot do things for ourselves. We can't be free if we cannot create access to opportunity for our people. We can't be free If we cannot educate our people as who they are, Africans, we can't be free. If we cannot build research institutions, yes, we can't be free. If we cannot build laboratories driven by Africans, yes, for the good of Africans, we can't be free. If we continue to accept genetically modified agricultural product that, what is it called? Bill Gates is pumping into Africa with nobody asking any question, yes, we can be free. We definitely can be free. So we got to have to go back to the drawing board. And one thing we must do as we think about the way forward for Africa is to look at Nigeria. Nigeria is in a trap, a very deadly trap. Yes, a trap of a class of elites driven by the instinct to destroy their country. They have no Pan-African spirit in them. They don't even know it. They can't phantom it. Some talk about it, but they are thieves. A thief cannot talk about Pan-Africanism. Yes. All right, let's do this.
This is a custom seat gap strip for your car.
We'll be right back.
For almost all models. Fit perfectly with the original car gap. Can create extra storage space for your phone, credit.
Yes. We refuse to be what they wanted us to be. We are what we are. That's the way life is going to be. If you don't know, you can't educate us for no equal opportunity. Talking about my freedom, people's freedom and liberty. Yeah, we've been treading on your wine press much too long. Rebel now. Yeah, we've been treading on your wine press much too long. Rebel. The Nigerian system is a vampire. Yeah. All right, Gangland, how are you? Hey, look at me. How you doing? And Chuku Kere Agoha, thank you very much for joining. Adepoju, how are you? Marvin Swanee, how are you? Hey, feel free to ask questions. Let us make this an interactive session. Ask question. All right. How are you, Gano Land? How are you, Caitlin? Hey, thank you very much for joining. Joseph Musimi, thank you. How are you? All right. Captain Ibrahim, yes, doing a great job in Burkina Faso. We want more of Ibrahim Traore. Yes. All right, Sisi Mohammed, are you doing good? Yes, what's going on? Sheena Farms, how are you? All right. So there are Nigerians in the house. Now there are Nigerians in the house. I hope, okay, Brooks, I hope you did fine, sir. I did fine well. I did fine, but I did verse for Nigeria. I did verse how things they go on for Nigeria. So I said England. I hope you are doing well, and I hope your weekend is going great. Yes, Nigeria has some of the most irresponsible leaders. We have never been blessed with a leader. Yes. Trevor Xavier, thank you very much. Aluta Continua, absolutely. Hey, let's feel free to talk about this. Why and how Nigeria is an obstacle to the unification of Africa. And you know why we need this unification? This unification is very good for economic integration and for the security of Africa and the overall well-being of that continent. Now, take instance, let's look at the angle of security. You see insecurity all over. Yes, Rasta forever. Yaman, Yaman. Insecurity forever. You see various terrorist groups springing up all over Africa. They are able to do what they do because Africa does not have a central military command. Africa does not have a standard economy that resonate with the people and the rest of Africa. So they are able to easily divide and come in through anywhere they want and get what they want, destabilize our countries, make our people hungry, steal our mineral resources, and go unchallenged. So now imagine an Africa, yes, that has one military. That's a part of the vision that our founding fathers had. He said, a borderless economy with one central government, one central bank, one central economy, and one central military. Yes. Who can beat an Africa with all this? They know. They are scared. Yeah, so that is why they continue to destabilize Africa. That's why they will continue to set us against one another. So we will not have the opportunity to think and say, look, let's do this thing right. Yes. That is why they want Ibrahim Traore dead by all means. Things kind of slow down now. Don't go to sleep because they will come back. They will come through another means. So if Africa had a central command, a military with a central command, Boko Haram will not rear its head anywhere in Nigeria. Al-Shabaab will not be operating in Somalia. And the various terrorist groups will not be there. Because you have an African military source, yes, that will go and quench an African problem. Do a damn good job at it. We won't be needing the United Nations who will send their men and then they come into our countries and start stealing mineral resources. They forget their primary missions. So if we have this United States of Africa that we must have, you won't see any of these terrorist groups because we handle them. How we handle them? We will handle them as Africa without mincing words and without sentiment. Now, imagine an Africa without borders, where goods and services will move freely without all these encumbrances, without going to apply for visa. Without that visa, they tire me. Yes. Just as it is in Europe. You see how the economy grows. The economy never suffers that anything. Plus what they come to take in Africa to drive their economies. Our own economies are suffering. Yes. So imagine an Africa that unites and have one military that can deal with any military emergency in Africa. An integrated economy with the ability for that may create opportunity for people to move around. I don't have to go to Johannesburg and stay there. I can go there, do my business, jump into the train, and come back to Nigeria, where I live, or if I want to live there. And nothing stops me going to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and or Durban to go and live if I decide to do that. Because it's African continent, as long as I'm doing something productive and positive to grow the economy of my Africa. There ain't nothing stopping me. Yes, but they don't want that. And that is why they put obstacles, put spanners in the way of making that happen. That is why they have the likes of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, that they forced on us as president of Nigeria. That is why they have Paul Biya in Cameroon. That was why they had Omar Bongo for as long as they had him. And many stooges. That is why they have Alassane Ouattara in the Ivory Coast. Yes, that is why they have them around. to hold their continent hostage, to keep the siege going, and allow the bleeding of Africa to continue unchallenged. And that is why you, me, and the other members of this generation, wherever we are, must now stand up and be asking questions. And this is why Nigerians must fast track the effort to end the darkness in their continent and their country. Because Nigeria, with its potential, yes, is holding Africa down. No matter, Burkina Faso is doing very well. But Burkina Faso need the muzzle of Nigeria, provided through a Nigerian with a Pan-African fire burning in him. We can't have it right now. And this is the reason why we must go to work and work harder. This is why we must liberate all those who are in bondage in Nigeria. This is why we must liberate the Hausa people. This is why we must liberate the Igbo people. This is why we must liberate the Niger Delta in Nigeria. This is why we must liberate everybody who is suffering in Nigeria. This is why we must liberate the whole of Nigeria, east, west, north, and south. If we do that and put power in the hands of those driven by the Pan-African instinct, that those who will take charge and lead Africa away from colonialism, because we are still colonized. The independence we have is a Greek gift. It doesn't exist in reality. Or if it did exist, Nigerian presidential candidate will not be filing out, boarding the plane to go to London, to go to Chatham House, to read out their manifestos to people who have no business, who are not going to be the ones voting, yes, in the Nigerian election. It's a show of shame. I felt so disgusted seeing that. And that is why we must wake up now to say, we have had enough of this. And this is why we must have young, vibrant people, people who care about Nigeria, people who care about the people of Nigeria, those who will take Nigeria as their country, those who will take Nigeria anywhere they go in Nigeria as their constituency, those who will drive us away from hate, yes, mischief, yes, bigotry, and jealousy. We want those leaders. You know what? We have them. We have them everywhere in Nigeria. But the Nigerian system is preventing them from coming out. The Nigerian system that our people, through their ignorance and poverty, help sustain, is holding the destiny of Nigeria down. You and I can do something now. Now I've taken time to explain it to you. We went through what? We went through what? Slavery, colonialism, yes, imperialism, yes, apartheid, now globalization. All these were done to hold us down. Now we know we have seen the light. Why can't we stand up for our rights? What is holding us? Why do we hate so much, especially in Nigeria? Why? Why is there so much hate in that country? Everybody is hating. Yes. And this is what our oppressors love. If we hate one another, like Bob Marley say, if you get on and you quarrel every day, you're saying prayers to the devil, I say. Yes. Yes, because we are hating. Why do we still have the problem of North and South, Christian and Muslim? All these things do not promote growth. They do not promote integration. They do not promote transformation. The best they can do is bloodshed. The best they can do, burning people's lives and property, like it has been the case. So this generation, I am challenging you to divorce yourselves from those masterminds of evil, yes, who thrive only on the blood of our people. They can't do anything good but destroy. They can't do anything good but instigate violence and sectarian hell among us. It is time. This century belongs to you. Yes, especially the young ones, the young Nigerians. The future is yours. The future is not for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's not in the future that is destroying. It is you who will suffer. I don't care whether you are from his tribe or you serve the same God with him. but it's a demonic force destroying Nigeria, destroying your future. Yes, seizing your future. While you are watching, what are you celebrating? Is there anything you are happy about? You graduate from school. Some have graduated since the past 12 years. You have no job. You still live under your parents. Your parents are still taking care of you, and you think you can't ask. You shouldn't be asking yourself a question about what kind of country you have. Yes, we don't have a country in Nigeria. Yeah, let me take some more thing. Africa needs one currency. We can achieve economic stability through one currency. We have got minerals, good weather for farming. We should be the number one leading economic continent. Absolutely, Napoleon Lenguai. I agree with you. And this is why we must, do what we have to do now. Remove all the obstacles to growth and development and progress and prosperity. Yes, and this is what our oppressors want to continue. Yes, all they do is create war. Look at what is taking place in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Since 1961, these people have never known peace. Yes, nearly a quarter of the country is in a refugee camp inside their own country. And while they are in the refugee camp, people are coming to take their minerals. Yes, right there. So brothers and sisters, they cannot come together to solve their problem. You know how shameful it was to see them coming to the White House a few months ago. Yes, I'm talking about the leaders of Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda coming to sign a peace treaty here in the White House in the United States. Over 10,000 miles. There was African Union. African Union could not solve their problem. If they can't solve problem, why do we have them? We have to uproot that thing and erect a new one. So Africans are incapable of solving their own problems. They need a white man to solve their problems. They came to the White House. What happened? Congo signed away its mineral rights. Yes, who knows how long that is going to last. Now it's going to take a fight to stop that from happening. It's a shame. It's disgraceful. So we have people who are not thinking. We have people who cannot solve problems. We have people who don't love their countries. We have people who don't care about the future of their country. We have leaders who don't care about the next generation. And then we call themselves leaders. We call them leaders, and they are proud that they are leaders. Yes. How would you be from a continent that cannot create jobs? 1.5 billion Africans. Over 78% of them are young people. And you are exposing them to the kind of dangers that makes them travel through very difficult terrains to go to Europe, where they are treated less than humans. Yes, they go to India, they go to Malaysia, and all the places. Yes. No, these people from the richest continent on earth, there's absolutely nothing we don't have. Why are we suffering? Shelby Davis, thank you very much for joining. We appreciate you. So if you're joining us for the very first time, we welcome you warmly, and we love you. Feel free and feel loved and wanted. Contribute if you have to. Give us ideas. Let us talk about it. I'm trying to make this an interactive session. So let us hear your viewpoints. Let us hear your opinion. It is about the way forward and the obstacle Nigeria poses to the unification of Africa because of its tragedy of leadership that is holding the entire country in captivity. All right, we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Madu, Ajaja. I have a son who is showing a lot of interest in music. He's a producer, a songwriter, and a multi-talented instrumentalist. Each time we come together, music happens. And today, we did a song.
Thank you for joining. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. I'm saying the turnout is getting heavy. So if you can do us a favor, share this live broadcast. Invite more people to come and listen to the story of Africa and the way forward. For the rain is falling. Got to have freedom now. I got to have my freedom now. We got to have freedom now. Africa is calling. I feel so high and even touch the sky above the falling rain. I feel so good that in my neighborhood, so here I come again. I got to have, yeah. I got to have. All right, Atine Peterskin, watching from Jamaica. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Africa is calling. Hey. All right. Well, yeah. I feel so high and even touch the sky above the falling rain. I feel so good in my neighborhood, so here I come again. I got to have freedom now. I got to have freedom now. For Africa is calling. Wake up and turn I loose. Get up and turn I loose. Wake up and turn I loose. Hey. Nigeria. We got to rise up and take our stand. Africa is calling. Let's go. Let's roll. Stand up for your rights. Africans, get up and stand up for your rights. Africans, get up and stand up for your rights. Friends of Africa who join us on this program, we thank you so much. We appreciate you sincerely and very deeply. Yes, that continent has gone through so much. It is time for the redemption of that continent. We must go back to the drawing board. And that is the reason why we must go back to the vision of our founding fathers, well spelled out. One country, Africa, United States of Africa. One country without borders. No need for visas. One country with one leadership. One country with one economy. One country with one reserve bank. So we don't have to go and be banking and printing money from outside. One country with one military, strong, solid African military that will be ready and able to combat external aggressions, that will make the continent impervious to those who rule and succeed by dividing the people. So when they want to come and deal with Africa, they are going to come and be dealing with one leadership, with all of us providing cover, a leadership that will be accessible to the people, and a democracy that will be African grown, with respect for who we are as the people of Africa, with respect for our customs and tradition. Yes. An Africa that will be led by transparent and unaccountable people. An Africa whose leaders will be answerable to the people. And no more dictatorship supported by foreign interests. Yes, who will exploit our people, make us poor, laugh at us, and then give us aid that we do not need, aid from what was taken from our continent. We want an Africa that will stand head to head, toe to toe with the best in the world. An Africa that will have a voice at the Security Council of the United Nations. An Africa that will be respected by all as equal. Not a divided Africa whose countries will cry to New York, as it's going to start happening, coming soon. Usually every September they will come and cry about the wars in their country and go back empty-handed. We want an Africa that can hold its own. We want an Africa that can call the shots. We want an Africa that can lead the world, and not an Africa that will be treated as vassals, as a vassal, as it has been for a very long time. We want an Africa whose president will be respected like the president of any great country on earth. The African Revolution is now. And this generation must not shy away from it. We don't want an Africa that will be ruled by people who will not tolerate dissenting views. An Africa whose leaders, like the leaders of Nigeria, have driven all those with variant opinions outside their country or underground. And they perpetuate dictatorship and tyranny for their benefit and the benefit of their imperial backers. We want a free Africa where people will be able to move from one country to the other without being asked, why are you here? Without daggers on their throat like it is in Nigeria, where some people will ask an Igbo man that he does not belong to Lagos, and so he should go back to his homestead. We want Africa where Nairobi will be home to me. Yes, Johannesburg will be home to me. Nigeria will be home to South Africans who want to come, with nobody troubling them. They do their business, or if they want to stay, they can stay for as long as they want. And if they want to stay forever, they can stay forever, with nobody bothering them, because it's their country. We want that new Africa. But to make it happen, we need transformational leadership. Some of them are emerging, but there are places where we are struggling. Nigeria is one of those places where we are struggling. It is a huge threat to the unification of Africa, because the Pan-Africanists in Nigeria, there are many, but they are not near the pathway where they can exert the force that they need to make things happen in line with the Pan-African thinking. Yes, because of the way we choose leadership. Nigeria must change, and it is compelling. And it's now and not tomorrow. The arrangement that has kept Nigeria in captivity has to be dismantled. The arrangement that makes the worst of Nigerians be leaders of Nigeria has to be dismantled. And the people who can dismantle it is the people. We have the power to do it, but we have not had the courage to start it. Yes, how long shall we bleed? How long shall millions of our children die and we are not able to do things? We are not able to ask questions. How long will our children be abducted from schools by bandits and terrorists unchallenged? How much more of a ransom are we going to pay? How are we going to fold our arms and allow our villages being taken over one after the other on daily basis? How come our roads have become most unsafe to travel through? Even air travels now is being disturbed. So the country is unsafe, requiring immediate action, requiring urgent action by its true patriots. We must organize. We must not fold our arms. We must not be so scared. It is our country. We have the number. Why are we not able to use the number? What is preventing us from uniting? Why is it that somebody from the north, from the east, from the west cannot come? The people from there, they divided our country. They tell us north. They tell the other people south. If we are one, we are north and south. How are we Nigeria? Why do we call ourselves one Nigeria? If I cannot talk to a fellow Nigerian in the north of Nigeria to make him see reasons why we should come together and recognize our common enemies and do what we have to do to free our country. Why do I have to be suspicious of someone because he's a Muslim and someone is suspicious of me because they believe I am Christian? Why can't we put all this to minimize religion, minimize our tribal differences, minimize our regional nationalist differences, and come to the duty of working to Nigeria? Because we are troubled by the same people. When they come together, they don't talk about tribe. When they are stealing Nigerian money, they don't talk about religion. They don't talk about their region. They talk about their own personal benefit, their selfish interest. So why are you and I their soldiers? Why are we their foot soldiers? Why do we have to defend them? Because they put religion in front of everything that they are doing. They are hypocrites. They are bigots. They don't know God. Those who know God don't play politics with God. Those who know God don't play politics with the life of the people. They are evil. And we must recognize that. That is why some of them feel uncomfortable with me and the message that I'm passing. That is why they will not allow me to come and air this same view that I'm airing here in their mainstream media. Because the Nigerian media is a part of the conspiracy destroying Nigeria. They shut the people out of access to the truth about what is taking place in their country. That country is bleeding so profusely. They are the reason I decided to create this media through which I am reaching you. We have made significant progress in the number of subscribers, but we are not there yet. We have to reach that critical mass of critically conscious Nigerians who will drive this message to the grassroots and then turn this hub into a place where they listen to the right information. Our work permeates every aspect of Nigeria. That is why we are able to release what they hide to you. We have foot soldiers everywhere. But what we are asking is for the common people of Nigeria to join this movement so we can connect with one another and share information in real time, and then reach that massive number that we need to exert that kinetic energy required to create an exodus. We need an exodus from the darkness in Nigeria. We need that heat that will break the yoke of confusion in Nigeria. We need to break the shackle holding our people hostage mentally and physically. And this is the time. It is a wake-up call. If you are a Nigerian today, listening to me, do your part. I am doing my part, talking, and doing my part, reaching out, and doing my part, doing the little I can do. Yes, what are you going to do for Nigeria? From wherever you are, by sharing this message, that is a huge help. By amplifying this message, expanding it, explaining it, breaking it down to the ordinary Nigerian who does not understand what is taking place, who look at Nigeria from the surface without that analytical mindset needed to dissect what is taking place. Because a lot of Nigerians listen are very superficial. They don't look at the consequences of the choices that they make. Yes, we are here where we are because of some costly choices that we have been making. Let me go back for as far as the past 25 years. Since 1999, we have kept on making this same mistake progressively, and our country is getting worse for it. So when are we going to ask ourselves this question about the choices that we have been making? Why do I have to be paid money to be responsible? Why do I have to be paid money to vote? The man who paid you money is definitely not a good leader. A good leader will not pay you money for him to serve you and serve you with his heart. A criminal will pay you money because he's an investor. They're expecting a return on his investment. That is why they don't get anything done. That is why they will not do it. That's why you see them throwing parties like what they are doing right now. You see, if care is not taken, I don't want to talk about 2027 in Nigeria. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about now. It is urgent that we do something. Let me take this. We might race, we can accomplish what we will reach for equality and the voice of the people. The voice of the people is the voice of God. Yes, I agree with you, Mr. Athena. Yes, that is absolute. That is absolute. So you see, when the people come together, they speak, and they speak. When they come together with honesty and they ask for anything, all obstacles are broken. Yes, all mountains will come down. All hills will be leveled. All crooked ways will be made straight. This is what our people have not come to a realization of. Our people have been so scared, so badly scared, beaten down. And then the people who oppress the people of Nigeria use all kinds of things to hold the people down. They use the military that does not know its responsibility. Nigerian military do not know that their job is not to defend a bad government or defend the government at all. They don't understand that their job is to defend the state. The state is not the government. There's a difference between the state and the government. Yes, the state is the one that will never die, that will never go away. But it requires the defense of the people to make the state stay and its institutions. Yes, yes, but the army in Nigeria is led by corrupt people. Yeah, the armed forces, they are more politicians than the politicians themselves. They hobnob with the politicians. They come here in Nigeria, you hear that a soldier will come and say that he's defending democracy. The job of a soldier is not to defend democracy. The job of a soldier is not to defend the democracy. The job of a soldier is to defend the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of his country. But in Nigeria, it's a different ballgame. Nigerian soldier will tell you that he's defending democracy. Yeah, there are more politicians. And they are the reason terrorism is progressing. They are the reason terrorism is a big business, because they are involved. They are the reason why the masterminds of terrorism in Nigeria cannot be apprehended, even if they are known. We know all of them. Yes, the soldiers, the army is a failure in Nigeria. Everything has collapsed in Nigeria. So they use the soldiers to harass the people, to scare the shit out of them, to shoot them when they come out to protest. So that is how they reduce our people to bananas who cannot raise a finger. Everybody is scared. But the question is, how long are we going to be scared, even as our country is being taken away from us? Yes, one village after another. Yes, they will come into a village, destroy lives and property, and the villagers will run, and the invaders will occupy the village. And once they occupy a village, nobody is able to ask them to leave anymore. Nigeria is such a damn lawless place, and it will take the people's resistance, it will take the people's force, and not an election. I am not a fan of their election. Election democracy in Nigeria is a no-brainer. There is no democracy, not even an atom of it. They are playing games. They are not. So this is why the evil men are leading Nigeria. But a population of 250 million people being manipulated by less than 1 million people, it looks like something is wrong with that population. And this is why we are talking to our people. It's time for us to rise up. The only way Nigeria will be set free is for the people to rise up. They call it revolution. Some say uprising. They are suffering. They are dying. Yes, when I mean dying, they are dying in droves. You go to Nigerian hospitals, you will weep and die. People are there, but they go there to die. Yes, not because of anything. The infrastructures are there, are not there. Corruption at its worst. You go to a typical emergency room in a Nigerian hospital, you will cry. Yes, they are dying at homes, in their homes. They are dying on the roads. They are being kidnapped in their farms. They are under siege. Nigeria is under siege as we speak right now. The country is under siege. Nigeria needs salvation. Nigeria needs its best. Yes. And unfortunately, yes, we don't have a Traore in the Nigerian army anymore. We don't have Thomas Sankara in the Nigerian army. Yes, we don't have Patrick Kaduna Nzogo in the Nigerian army. Who will lead Nigeria out of this hell? I don't know. But the people must do what they must do. I would prefer the people coming out to do what they must do. Yes, to set themselves and their country free. Who is going to lead it? We have presented ourselves many times. But when we come, we don't see enough people to follow because everybody is scared. Yes, they will refer you back to what happened on NSAS on October 20th, 2020, when over 200 young Nigerians were massacred. Young Nigerians waving flags were shot down by the corrupt army of Nigeria. Not a Nigerian army anymore right now. It's an army of terrorists. Yes, it's so sad where Nigeria is. But we are not going to back down. We are not going to allow them have their way. And this is why a new army of young people must rise up from east, west, north, and south of Nigeria to set that great, beautiful country free. Yes, beautiful country. That country has to be set free. We're right back.
Dedicated to Nigerians in chains and shackles of oppressions.
Hey, we thank all those who are joining us. Those more people are joining. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you.
When your kid
Thank
is
you.
hurting and there's nothing you can do about it, that's the worst feeling in the world.
I don't think he ever expects to hear that their child has cancer. It's always one of those things that happens to somebody else, but it's definitely feels like your soul is sucked out of your body when they tell you that it's your baby. And you would do anything to get them to the best place that they can be for their treatment. And I knew with everything in my soul that was St. Jude and that we had to get here. Everything about cancer is already so hard. I can't imagine how people do this without St. Jude.
My name is Hunter. I'm at St. Jude because I had osteosarcoma. Osteosarcoma is a special cancer that's in the bone. So they had to amputate my leg.
Here at St. Jude, you don't ever have to worry about how much treatment costs. You never get a bill, ever, for any of it.
1 in 5 children diagnosed with cancer in the U.S. will not survive. St. Jude gives kids with cancer the chance they deserve. Help St. Jude give every child with cancer a chance.
Without the donors, St. Jude wouldn't be here.
Thank you so much. You have saved so many kids.
Let's cure childhood cancer together.
All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, we're back after that commercial from St. Jude's Hospital. I encourage those, which means especially those who live here. The St. Jude Hospital does a great job for young children who suffer from cancer, and their treatment is free. Free, it doesn't matter how long the treatment. Like, and I'm very passionate about it. Whenever their ads come, I love to have it play to the end. Elazo is Uchuku. Thank you very much for joining. We've been talking about Nigeria, the obstacles it poses to the unification of Africa. Yes, the liberation and the unification of Africa. And we ran through various things that Africa has been through. And then the dream and vision of our founding fathers, led by Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Emperor Haile Selassie, Sekou Toure, Jomo Kenyatta, and the rest of them. Yes, what they envisioned to achieve for us about 80 years ago. But for sad things happened, they were not allowed, they were not able to carry out what they wanted to do for Africa before the imperial forces who felt threatened decided to either assassinate them or overthrow them one after the other. Now we are where we are, in a very difficult condition, very, very serious condition. It's an emergency that we in this generation must address. Yes, no generation, no people in the history of the world has been subjugated for their entire life. I think the African people should wake up, but there's an obstacle, and that obstacle is coming from the country where I come from, where you come from, where all of us come from. Yes, and that country is Nigeria. Nigeria is massively endowed by human, mineral, and natural resources. But Nigeria has been one of a big problem since independence, in 1960. Yes, that has torpedoed the transformation of Africa. Yeah, looking at the taking cognizance of its size. Yes, the size is massive, and the muzzle of Nigeria is massive. Nigeria was a very promising country at independence. The whole world had so much hope on Nigeria. Africa's hope was hinged on Nigeria. But Nigeria has serially disappointed Africa. And I feel so sad about that, because the right people have never been put, not even one person. Yes, not even one person has been the right leader for Nigeria. Maybe there was only one person, but he lasted only 6 months. I'm talking about Agui Ironsi, he was not given the opportunity to express himself. He was a crisis president. He lasted only 6 months. But he did one thing. He made an effort, even though people who don't understand history, who don't understand the dynamics of leadership, blame him for trying to unite the country. The only wrong thing he did was bring the country together. He united the country, maybe through the through the barrel of a gun, and that was what he had. He was a soldier, and a young man who just came back from peacekeeping operation in Congo that was on fire. He came back, and then this turmoil started in Nigeria. And some people, their descendants are the ones creating the problems we are suffering from in Nigeria, because they have this erroneous impression that Nigeria belongs to them, and which is a lie. And then they started this madness. And then the leadership fell on him as the highest ranking soldier in the army. And then the country was in disarray. So he proclaimed a unitary system to hold the country together, while perhaps making plans for the country to return to civil rule. But those people who felt like some people from some race in Nigeria ganged up to kill their leaders, decided to stage a reprisal, an irresponsible reprisal arising from a purely military affair. They turned it into something else. And then in the north of Nigeria, poor and defenseless Igbos were massacred. Yes, and nobody did anything to stop it. They allowed it to go on. And the whole thing now became so big and out of control that it led to what they described as civil war, that we know was what? A genocide, targeting one group of people. I know they don't like to hear this, but it's true. You know, you cannot obliterate the truth. We have to speak. It is the truth. And then most recently, one of those who benefited from the fraud, talked about that it wasn't the type of coup that Nigerians were made to believe it was. It wasn't an Igbo coup. All right, but still, Nigeria has not found it expedient to forgive the Igbos of the sin that they did not come together to commit. Yes, that is the sad thing about Nigeria. The Nigerian media, that's why I detest it. The Nigerian media is skewed. Once they keep on pumping the false narrative into the brains of our people. And now this thing has become a generational problem. And that is why, thank God for the internet, we are now able to state the truth about the way things happen with matching records, incontrovertible evidence of what actually took place. Yes. Yes. And that's exactly. Eliza, welcome. Kofi Kumsin, thank you very much for joining. Sheena, thank you very much for joining. All right, so we are here where we are now. I think we should be a generation of solution and not a generation of recycling hate in Nigeria. We should be tired of hate. Now, I always use myself as an example, and I use people, Nigerians who live here in the United States as an example. I live in Texas, yes, and I've never seen nobody has ever walked to me since I came here 29 years ago. Yeah, 29 years ago. That's when I came here. No American, no Texan had ever walked up to me to ask me the type of silly questions some people ask of their fellow citizens in Nigeria. No American has ever asked me to leave America. Never. Never. It's a crime for you to do that. It's a crime for you to demonstrate hate. Hate crime here is a serious thing. You threaten me, and the system has a way of addressing it. So there are Yorubas, there are Igbos, there are Hausas, there are Fulanis. Yeah, all of us as Nigerians who live here. Nobody molests us, nobody tells us to leave. Especially when you are documented, you have your green card, and some of us have become US citizens. All right, so which means we have the same right an American that was born here has. And we have children who are born here. Where they are born here, they are born organic Americans. So how are you going to ask me to leave? How are you going to chase me? How are you going to approach me? But we do this in Nigeria. Some of us who enjoy some of these benefits here are not able to tell our people the right thing, what should be done. And even some of us go home and get worse and plug into the nonsense, the foolishness that people do at home. Hate, discrimination, things that nobody does to you while you are here. You need to see us sometime when we are looking for something that is our right here. When we go to offices to start yelling and shouting, it's my right, and there's somebody will be telling you, I'm so sorry, give me a few minutes, I'm going to address this. Yes, but you go to Nigeria and do a direct opposite. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Yes, these things do not happen. And I saw painfully, what has been happening across Africa too, because we have to talk about this. If we want to be one country, we must be ready to be that one country. Yes, Nigerians and South Africa are subjects and targets of attacks, assassin, murder. Nigerians, Zimbabweans, even Mozambicans. Yes, you see them. When we were living in South Africa, I went there as a professional. I was in South Africa between 1994, the year apartheid ended, and 1996. Yes, there was some name that they used to call us. It's a derogatory name, Makwere and stuff like that. You are my brother. You are my sister. Yes, I am inside South Africa. You discriminate against me. But there are Europeans being shipped into Europe and given a South African passport. Yes, they come. Chinese, Indians come into South Africa, land on South African travel document. But fellow Africans, me like you, come. It is me that you'll be attacking. It's me you'll be killing. It's me you'll be destroying his shops right inside South Africa. It's a very shameful thing. Yes, but they did not do it to me. And at the time we were there, it wasn't happening already. Because the city where I lived, I was treated like a royalty. Yes. And they were always they were so thankful, for what Nigeria did, to support the liberation struggle in South Africa. I don't know what happened after we left, that this type of mayhem that we now see happening all the time started happening. And now it came so close to home. Ghana, some weeks ago, Ghanaians were protesting and demanding that Nigerians leave their country. In fact, they went further down to demand that Igbos leave their country. These people are the same people as you. Yes. Yes. And this is not the first time. That was not the first time it happened. In 1957, right after Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown, General, what is his name? Kotoka, who took him, brought about a stupid policy. Yes. That led to the expulsion of Nigerians from Ghana. Yes, and then what happened? Nigerians had a lot of investment in Ghana. The economy of Ghana collapsed when the Nigerians withdrew their money and went back to Nigeria. And then in 1983, it was like a revenge for Nigerians. 1983, Buhari, that idiot, terrorist commander, became president of, became head of state of Nigeria, military head of state. He's from Nigeria, he's not even a Nigerian. Then they came up with this Ghana must go thing. Shameful. We are all Africans. Why are we doing that to ourselves? This is what we do to ourselves. We shouldn't be doing that. Now, back in Nigeria, you see somebody An Igbo man, Igbo people in Lagos. Some Yorubas are asking them to leave Lagos as if they are strangers to that. Lagos is a territory of Nigeria. It's not, nobody owns it. It's a Nigerian territory. Because at independence, what we had was Nigeria. All kingdoms died and they lost their sovereignty. All kings lost their power to control anybody. Yes. What we did was to keep the country going because we wanted to be tied symbolically to our past. It's not like a traditional ruler. No traditional ruler has any power over me. They don't have power over you. We kept them symbolically, yes. But sadly, people take undue advantage of this and then make us live like we are these Stone Age people. This is what we must stop. If we don't stop it, we are so far, we'll be so far away from the unification of Africa. So we are going to have to liberate ourselves first. It is very important that we liberate ourselves first before we move. And then, as it stands, with all the troubles in Nigeria, Nigeria poses a huge obstacle, yes, to the unification of Africa, because the people of Nigeria are not liberated yet. They have to liberate themselves from tribalism. They have to liberate themselves from regional and religious nationalism. They have to accept that they are Nigerians. And if you accept that you are a Nigerian, you don't have any problem dealing with an Igbo man. You don't have any problem dealing with a Yoruba man. You don't have any problem dealing with an Hausa man. You don't have any problem dealing with a Baron man. Yes. And then we will come together as a country. So if there's any problem anywhere inside Nigeria, we will take it as our own problem and formulate ways of dealing with that challenge. We are far from it right now. Not with the type of leadership we have right now. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not going to lead us there. Yes, Kashin Shettima is not going to lead us there. You see the history of these two men leading Nigeria. You want me to tell you? Bola Ahmed Tinubu once lived in the United States. He was living in the United States, from where I am sending you this broadcast. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a commercial drug dealer. You hear what I'm saying? He was a commercial drug dealer. He sold drugs that killed thousands of Americans, destroyed thousands, if not millions of families. Yes, you know drugs, what it does. If you are a breadwinner, like I am, I start taking drugs, I lose focus. I can't walk anymore. All right, because my life is hooked on that drug. Now what happened? My family suffers. I pass that problem down to the family. Children will not be able to go to school. Children will not be able to have access to basic things of life. And before you know it, they are down. And they become vulnerable and may fall into the drug use. You see the multiplier effect, and it becomes a generational crisis. Bola Ahmed Tinubu sold drugs in this country. Yes, he was arrested, prosecuted. But what makes me mad about what America did with him was letting him go after they collect nearly 500,000 US dollars from him. So he traded. He did a trade bargain. I wish they can arrest him and bring him back to face to serve his term. I feel sad that had to happen. Unlike America, they ought not to have let him go. He should have paid for his crime. He's a war criminal. He should have been tried like Slobodan Milosevic and Charles Taylor because he committed crimes against humanity. He killed a lot of people, even without a gun. But the effects of what he did destroyed families, destroyed generations. He's an evil man. That is the president of Nigeria. Sad, rogue president of Nigeria. And people celebrate him. You turn buff because he's from your tribe. You turn buff for him because he's a Muslim like you. We should be ashamed of ourselves. And that is the worst that people can do to themselves. And they expect Eldorado out of it. That is not going to happen. Never. It will never happen. Then the other one, Kashin Shettima, is vice president. You know who he is? Terrorists with ties to Boko Haram. Boko Haram have destroyed over 1 million lives since 2009 when they came into operation. and they have continued to kill our people. Yes, that is the vice president of Nigeria. How did he come about? He came about by through the efforts of the corrupt and morally bankrupt, evil terrorist people who call themselves northern leaders, mainly Fulanis. Yes, Fulani elites who call themselves northern leaders. When you look at the configuration of what they call northern leaders, maybe nearly 95% Fulanis, invaders who came in 1804 to destroy the Hausa land. They took charge of everything, hijacked Hausa people, and by extension, hijacked Nigeria, using the Hausa people as weapons and as cannon fodder until recently, now that the Hausa people are starting to open their eyes. This is the sad story of Nigeria. So they brought Kashim Shettima in their Muslim arrangement. Who does that? Who leads a country through religion? In America, when they want to choose president or any leader, what they are looking for is abilities, competency, knowledge, courage, content, and strength of character. That's what they are looking. Did you hear me say Islam or Christianity? Did you hear me say anything religion? It doesn't matter. They don't care about religion. And it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your socio-economic background. It doesn't matter your sex. It doesn't matter who your father was, whether he was poor or not. It doesn't matter where your father came from. If they were to take cognizance of where Obama's father came from Ethiopia, or from Kenya, he would never have been allowed to be president of Nigeria. But they saw something. They saw ability. They saw character. They saw courage to do right in Obama. And America did not have any problem electing him president. And the funny thing, the very interesting thing about Obama and his presidency at the time was the previous national convention of his party, the Democratic Party. He wasn't able to get into the arena to watch. He watched it from one of the poorest hotels that you can think about. They call Motel 6 in America. Even me at the time, I already stopped using Motel 6 because I thought I had gone up high, upscale, to go to Motel 6 with their stinking thing and roaches and some bed bugs on their bed. But that was where he was. The next convention, he was addressing it as a presidential candidate. You see how America works. America, see how it works. They look for the material in you. And when they are looking for what in you, that is what happened to me too. Here, I will tell you my story. They will look for the best in you. They are looking for the best. They will sap that best, for the good of their country. What do we do in Nigeria? We take terrorists, those who don't know a damn thing. You put them. They will tell you about the regional. Okay, you bring a cow from one region and put it in position. It knows nothing, next to nothing about what to do with his position. He's there, sit down there, you are there. And then it's redundant. The country is suffering. The country is marching back. Yes, that is how sad. Obama did not have the type of amount of money I had. Yes, at the time he was running for president. He didn't have near what I had in my bank account. I knew what I was doing at the time as a businessman who toured around the United States. Yes, I knew how much I had in my account. Obama could not have had that type of amount of money. He was an organizer. Organizers don't make money. He was organizing. It was through organizing people discovered him that he has potential for leadership. And then he made a speech in one place. They started looking at this guy. There's something about him. They started following him. When the time he showed up, he first of all became a senator. Yeah, from senator, he became ripe for president. You see the trajectory. Yes, young man whose father was from Kenya. And young man who was taken through a lot of different situations in life. His mother was married to a man from Malaysia. Yes, he lived with a Malaysian man. Yes, you see his story. Yes, it wasn't a very, very nice, beautiful story. Yes, but he had something. He had fire. He wanted to achieve something. Now, what do we do in Nigeria? Before you do anything, you have to come from the east. From the north. the North has to have it for 8 years. Even if the fool that they are bringing, they will bring a fool, as always. Like Buhari was a fool. What did Buhari know? But they said not. They put him there, not. The North has to have it. They are not talking about the best has to have it. Yeah, that's America. America, and we say we copied democracy from Africa. There's nothing Nigeria is practicing that is near America's democracy. Absolutely nothing. Is it the corruption? There are corrupt people here, but don't be caught. If you are caught, the law does not respect you. The law will mess you up. Don't be caught. Hear me again. I didn't say there are no thieves here. There are many thieves. There are many corrupt people here. But don't be caught. You are caught, you will serve your time for it. See, many who were caught are in prison serving or have served. Did you see the man, Congressman Jefferson, who did the Halliburton bribery scandal deal with Atiku? Yes. He was a member of Congress here in the United States. He was involved in a crooked business with Atiku Abubakar, the man who wants to be president of Nigeria now. Now, you are in Nigeria, are you listening? Please listen. And you are not sharing this message. Don't just come here and listen. Share the message so you can go around Nigerians. Atiku Abubakar was involved in a terrible corruption scandal with a U.S. congressman, William Jefferson. The FBI investigated and found him culpable. They put him through trial. And he was found guilty. He was sentenced to 13 years in prison in America. 13 years in prison in the United States. What did Nigeria do to Atiku? Atiku had a house here in Potomac, Maryland. Mansion that he built with over 3 million. Stolen money from Nigeria. Atiku had to sell that house through proxy because the FBI now was looking for him. He knew that when he set his leg here, he'll be arrested. He sold that house. In my next set of broadcasts, I'm preparing that to show Nigerians. Because Nigerians are so gullible. All they see is money. They look at money. He just acquired a Lombardia jet right now off of money stolen. He was only a customs officer running a smuggling ring, during his time in custom. That was how he became a millionaire while serving as a customs officer. But here, you ask questions, all you need to get into trouble, America, withdraw $10,000. Deposit $10,000 that is not from your job. You are not paid that salary. Or you withdraw $10,000. I have been through that. All right? All you need to do, withdraw $10,000. Then you start answering questions about how you got that money. All right? Or somebody put $10,000 in your account just like that. Not through any known business transaction. Or your salary. You will answer questions about that. I have answered questions about that. All right. Many Nigerian politicians will be in prison. They are thieves. All of them. No exception. So that is why they are stalling the growth and development of that country. But sadly, our people follow them. So going back to Atiku. America jailed Jefferson. Nigeria was given a presidential ticket to Atiku in every election cycle. Yes, he will change party. They started the APC. He moved back to PDP. All right? From PDP, there was a time he returned to APC. And then back to PDP. Now he is in their ADC coalition. Looking for ways. He's not looking for any other thing but a way to hurt Nigeria. And people call him Atiku as a good leader. How is he a good leader? He's a thief. He's a criminal. He's supposed to be in jail. and is a member of Mieti Allah, the terrorist organization that is troubling Nigeria. Yes. And you Nigerians don't know anything about those who present themselves to lead you, because we are superficial. We don't think. We think with our stomachs. Anybody who gives us 1,000 naira is a leader. Yes. Any person who buys us a half bag of rice is a leader. Any person who buys some tin tomato paste is a leader. Those who buy us cooking oil, we consider them as leaders. A leader is not one who will go and do what he cannot do with his money to give you. These criminals, that is how they put their hands in your treasury and take all the money in it. That was how they destroyed the Nigerian treasury. Yes. Now, back to Okashin Shetima. Kashin Shetima has ties to Boko Haram. Aminu Sokoto, the man behind the bombing of the United Nations building in 2011 in Abuja, that killed scores of people, was arrested in Kashin Shetima's house. It's on record. Google it if you're a Nigerian watching me. So they brought these two criminals, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashin Shetima. That was the best. The North, the so-called North, Fulani North, I'll call it, elitist Fulani North. The best they could bring was a criminal. And these people claim that they are devout Muslims. I have a lot of friends who are Muslims. They don't do criminal things. They don't support evil. They don't have any deal with evil men. They chase evil men like fleas. Don't come near me. But the hypocrites in Nigeria, in the north of Nigeria, the Fulani elites who claim that they are Muslims, they are behind terrorism in Nigeria. They are the ones destroying Nigeria. They are the mastermind of banditry in Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows them. They were the ones that helped him come to power after they compromised all of our country's strategic institutions, including the Nigerian military, where their agents are holding command and control positions. Nigeria is so messed up. We have to do a clean, a serious sweep to rid Nigeria of evil before we can get to that pathway. And it hurts, especially with the urgency Africa needs to unite and transform. It hurts that Nigeria is the one holding them back. So these are the things that we have been condoning. And it is our fault that this type of people come to power. Now I come back again to the United States. When I came here, who was the president of the US? I think it was Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was from Arkansas. That's a state in Nigeria. All right. Then Al Gore, his vice president, was from Tennessee. I will not stop using this as example, just to help Nigerians start thinking. Nigerians are not thinking. What benefit do you derive that your tribesman is governor or is president? If there's any benefit, maybe it's psychological. For me, I don't even think about it. I don't care. What matters to a country that is desirous of advancing economically and otherwise is in the quality of its leadership. Nigeria has never had any quality leadership. So Bill Clinton was president. From Arkansas, Al Gore from Tennessee, a neighboring state, they have boundary. Arkansas and Tennessee have a boundary. They are not from the north and south. They were from the same part of the United States, southern United States. Two of them. Arkansas is here, then Tennessee is there. They have boundaries. They have boundaries. They didn't say north. North will take it to this time. You see how stupid. When I say stupid, Nigerians, let me stop short of calling the whole of Nigeria stupid. Nigerian elites are so stupid, especially those who go to the television, Arise, a useless television station, and another useless one, channels. Yes. The media in Nigeria does not know its role. They don't understand the importance of the media, that the media is supposed to be an agent of unification. Nigerian media is a divisive media. They thrive on dividing our people. Then the media practitioners, those who are supposed to be the leads, don't even know a damn thing. Like when you talk about Ruben Abati, what does he, what you hear, whenever you hear him, the guy, thank God I don't even watch their TV. I will nearly stone my TV when I hear him tell me about North. And then the same thing, Sheon Okembaloye. You are talking about North. Your position there is to unify the people. And I will not allow any person who come and divide, make divisive statement in my studio. Especially with the way Nigeria is. Yes. So Al Gore and Bill Clinton. Al Gore and Clinton were from two neighboring states. America did not die. There was no American who was trying to pull the plug. He said, oh, Lord have mercy. What is wrong with us? I don't want to call my people retarded because I'm one of them. But we think like, oh, shit. Yes. I was waiting to hear somebody from like New York complaining, why are two of them president and vice president? I was expecting to hear someone from California raising hell. No. Their way of doing things, their way of their region is in the intellect. Their regions are in the abilities, the competency, the knowledge, the courage to do great things, the power to bring the people together to get things done. Yes, that was how they were thinking. So when Nigerians came here, and Nigeria expended a lot of money to bring thousands of people to learn American democracy. Oh, so they took what they could use to steal from Nigeria and left all the good stuff behind. They brought nothing home. They took corruption, bribery, hate, nepotism, terrorism, and banditry. That's what they brought for Nigeria. You see an idiot who cannot express himself because he's from one part of the country. Oh, this is not, bring him here. They put him there. Then stellar, really very qualified people will be made to be serving under him who doesn't know a damn thing. It's the same thing that we are using to admit our students into universities in Nigeria. Somebody who could not pass WAEC, who did not pass JAM. People are scoring 400. He's scoring 80. Because he's from the north, for instance. And he has to go to the university. He has to be given an admission when he did not pass. And then for him to be given, or her to be given admission, the man, the young girl, the young boy from another place who scored very high mark had to be displaced for an indolent who was not taught right. An indolent from the same country that is supposed to progress at the same rate with the rest of the country. But because some people decided that they should not have an environment where teaching and learning can take place. So now their problem becomes a national emergency for all of us. Me who is telling you, speaking to you here, I was a victim of it. In 1988, there was an advertisement by the NMPC in Hotoro, Kano. They were looking for an industrial nurse because I'm a nurse. I applied for the position. I was invited to the interview. I did the written test. We did the oral interview. I came tops. I was the best. I was the best. But you know what happened? Somebody called me aside. Say, yes, you were the best. You came tops. But we cannot give you this job because you are from Bender State. We were from Bender State then. And your state quota is full. If you are from Kano, you are from River State, those people are educationally disadvantaged states, we will give you the job. I was looking and asking myself, is this Nigeria? Am I a citizen of this country? Yes, it was Nigeria. I was a citizen of that country at that minute. But how come my country is treating me this way? I'm the best for a position. I am not able to use my position to serve my country. And there was, funny thing, there was nobody from Kano at that interview because they didn't have anybody who was qualified for the job. So they have to wait for him until he is born. He goes to elementary school. He goes to high school. He goes to nursing school and perhaps go to do orthopedic nursing or industrial nursing before he will qualify to come and take that job. You know how long that would take? I was denied that job. And to make matters worse, someone pulled me aside and said, you know what, you can change. Your name is Madu. All you need to do, put AH ahead of your Madu and it becomes a Madu. And then convert to Islam. This job is yours. And I said, no. Why should I become a Muslim? Because I want a job in my country. This is my country. This is my country. Why should I become a Muslim? And if I became a Muslim because of that, I would be a very bad Muslim. I would not be a real Muslim. I would be fake. So I told them, no, I am not changing my religion. I am not going to become a Muslim because of a job that I need. The job can go to hell. So I left, returned, and then continued life. In 1991, the worst happened. If you see my hand, you see this dark spot. It's a spot from a stab wound. 1991, Kano religious riot. Riot for just no reason. Because some people who are said to be Christians had a Reinhard Bonnke from Germany coming to preach in Kano. That was all. Some people decided to set the country, set the city ablaze. When it was over, they killed thousands of people who were presumed not to be Muslims and should die. In their country. In their country. We tolerate all this. We have been tolerating it. Atiku, you won't hear him say anything. Yes. I was in an IDP camp for days before I went back. As soon as I finished my orthopedic nursing school, I had to leave. I left Kano in 1992. Took up a job in Lagos, Guinness, from where I left to South Africa in 1994. That's my story. So if you see the way I behave, you see there are all these things that are inspiring what I'm doing right now. We can't continue that country like that. Our country got independence on the same day. There were people who could teach anywhere in Nigeria. You want to hear something? Let me show you something here to drive my point. Why Nigeria must change. And why Nigeria must change now, not tomorrow. I am not interested in those who are doing election. The election is bullshit. We need a people's action. We need action from people, liberated people in the north, south, east, and west. Because there are people in the north who are not happy with what is taking place in Nigeria. But they shout them down. They use Islam to hold them down. They are scared, but they are many. They are few. Now they are coming up because they understand the damage done to the country already. And the damage done to especially people, Nigerians in the north of Nigeria. What is wrong with an Igbo man teaching an Hausa or a Fulani person to make him a better student and equip him for the future? Hear what this fool had to say. The one they call Amadu Bello at independence on day one in Nigeria. Why should I be in the same country with people thinking this way? Yes, like a Stone Age people. And he spoke so well. Yes, he went to school in England. He came back with this foolish, stupid, retarded, oppressive mentality. And that's the one who became premier in the north. And he was the one responsible for the northernization policy. And you're going to hear him in this short video. Hold on and watch. Just be patient, it's coming.
One thing I've noticed, Premier, while I've been here, is that Northerners seem to have, I might almost call it obsession about the Igbos. Could you perhaps explain that to me?
Well, the Igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. Then I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key posts in the north solely with northerners and not with other Nigerians a temporary or permanent one?
In actual fact, what it is a northerner first. If you can't get a northerner, then we take an expatriate like yourself on contract. If we can't, then we can employ another Nigerian, but on contract too. This is going to be permanent, I should say, as far as I can foresee, because it would be rather dangerous to see the number of boys who are now turning from all our learning institutions coming out with having no work to do. I'm sure whichever government of the day might be, it will feel rather embarrassed, and it might even lead to bloodshed.
Doesn't this damage the idea, sir, of all people in all regions in Nigeria being fellow citizens of one country?
Well, it might, but you are new to our region, but how many northerners are employed in the east or in the west? The answer is no. And if there may be 10 laborers employed only in the two regions.
Did you hear that? That was a Nigerian leader. Did you hear him say Nigeria? He didn't say Nigeria. He kept on hammering Northerners, 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 right? So, what does that tell you? He never believed in Nigeria. Just like they do not believe in Nigeria. Those class, elitist Fulani class. They don't believe in Nigeria. They never wanted Nigeria to work, just like they don't want Nigeria to work. The only thing that attracts them to Nigeria is benefit, what they want to steal from Nigeria. They are the biggest thieves. They are the biggest obstacles to the growth and development of Nigeria. They hate to be told this, but we have to tell them the truth. Yes, in the past, they will say it's politically incorrect to state the fact. But when you hear them arrogantly talk about this northern nationalism in a country that is supposed to be one, you see how embarrassed the British journalist was, asking him this, you want to do this in a supposed one country? He didn't budge. He even went ahead to say that before they will hire a fellow black man, they will hire a white expatriate. If they did not find a northerner, he said they will hire someone like you. Yes, he's a white man inside Nigeria. Yes. You see what they do? That is what they have been doing. As far as I can remember, until I left Kano, I had so many of my friends who came there to teach. They were teaching on contract in the civil service. They were teaching without benefits in their country. And then you want to know why the people there are educationally disadvantaged? Because nobody wants to stay in that part of his country, working without hope for benefits. When you retire to nothing. So they use that as a plant to start. When they find something else better with benefit elsewhere, they leave. And now the students suffer. They start looking for teachers. And then most of the teachers that they have there are not well-equipped teachers as far back as I knew, as far as what I knew at the time. Yes. So teaching and learning is not taking place. And that is a place where you have over 30 million innocent, poor and defenseless, mostly Hausa children, in the streets, begging for arms instead of being in classes. Is that not genocide? That is genocide. And that is why we are asking the Hausa people to rise up and disarticulate themselves, disquamate themselves from those who oppress them. The man who spoke and the Fulani elites who hold Nigeria hostage through their northern regional agenda. Most of their children are in Saudi Arabia, going to the best schools. Some are in the UK. There are some here. A lot of them in the United Arab Emirates. But they exploit the Hausa people to the bone. And by extension, Nigeria. They hold Nigeria in captivity. And that is why we call on Nigerians to stop allowing these people access to power at any level in Nigeria. Because they don't mean well for Nigeria. They have no plans for Nigeria. All they want is to steal and rob the country blind. Now let's take statements from people here. And right, okay, Sheena, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. And let me see who this is. Oh no, I'm not a German. Do I look like a German? That's funny. All right. Art of the Minds 559. You said you can be Nigerian president. Well, that's a very good one. Yes, I do. I can if I am given the opportunity. But the problem with Nigeria, and which is what we are working, presidential ambition is not on my list right now because I cannot be president of a country where citizens are unconscious. They won't be able to elect me and what I represent because I will not do what those before me are doing. I don't buy votes. I know what I'm worth. I know I have abilities. I have competency. I have knowledge at least, and I'm willing to learn more. I have courage to do right thing. I'm not afraid of anyone. And I have good content of character that is required to lead a country. But what we are trying to do now is to raise the consciousness of our people first before anything else. If not me, it could be someone else who have benefited from what we are teaching. So we have a shift of ideas. We have to shift a shift in the way we think, because we are not thinking right in Nigeria. We are obstacles to things happening positively for the people of Nigeria. And the majority of the poor people are so strapped, that they need a lot more, to wake them up to their responsibilities as citizens of Nigeria. A lot of them don't know that they have rights, basic human rights. They don't know too that they have rights as citizens of Nigeria. So they are reared like a chicken. So my job is to inspire them to start thinking. My job is to, inspire a brand new set of soldiers all over the country who will do the work of going to educate the people from the little that we are doing here through contributing fresh ideas and things that can uplift the country. So I don't know, unless I'm not trying to rule that out. Yes, one thing is to make the pronouncement. I don't have the money, and even if I have it, I am not going to pay anybody to help me get me elected to serving, because I know when I decide to go serve Nigeria, assuming I'm given the opportunity to do so, I will serve day, night, and 24 hours with every part of my body. And I want to let you know that in 2014, 2018, up to 2019, I worked hard to put myself in the senatorial race. Yes, I ran a race to the Senate, but the outcome was disastrous. Disastrous in the sense that I did have the best campaign, issue-based campaign, spoke to the people about what they need. But when the day came, they sold their votes, and I was left like a chicken beaten by the rain. I am not sad about it. It has been such one of the things that inspired what I'm doing right now. Our people, the mindset of Nigerians, I'm sure it is the same with some parts of Africa. We have to change. We have to change. We don't understand the need for us to sacrifice for what we want. We don't sacrifice to get the type of leadership. You heard what I just said about how we choose leadership. Instead of choosing the best, they are going to bring fools from their regions and then put in there a goat from the southwest, like a Bola Tinubu is there, drug dealer, certificate forger, identity thief. He's there. And some people celebrate him because he's from their place, where some of the best heads are all over the world. Instead of Nigerians going to look for them and bring them here, do capacity builders, capacity utilizer, capacity expanders, capacity extenders, and capacity sustainers here, who are so selfless that they want the best for their countries. They don't want them. They don't want them because they will not come and be partnering with their money to pay them money for electing them. So I belong there. I'm an intellectual. I'll teach our people, teaching the young people the history of Nigeria that they don't know, hoping that will help them to start asking questions, why they have been repressed and all that. And the reason, and then for them to understand that they have a right as citizens and rights as human beings to be whatever they want to be. And then teach them that they should not continue to bandy or inherit the hate that those before them have been bandying for a very long time. We need a brand new citizen of Nigeria. Nigeria needs a new citizen. And that is what we are lacking. That citizen, new citizen who sees the country as his, and then as a property that he must defend. Yes, is a responsible citizen, a sensible citizen, a sensitive citizen. Yes, and a responsive citizen, not the insensitive ones that we have, not the criminals, not the bandits, not the terrorists, not the rogues that we have as leaders. We are looking for that citizen, and that is what we are trying to build through what we are doing here at ONN. Thank you very much. Let me read. Okay. Salute from Senegal. Papa Mamadou, thank you very much. We appreciate you. If you are still here, I'm going to ask you a question, Mamadou, if you have not left. I want to ask Papa Mamadou, why is it that the Muslims in Senegal, they are very tolerant, they don't kill people, they don't fight one another, they don't kill those who do not belong to Islam in Senegal, because I love Senegal. I look forward to being there one of these days. Yes, the country is a very good country. Why is it that the Muslims there, they don't fight one another? They don't attack fellow Senegalese who are non-Muslims. If you are here, please answer me. I will appreciate, because that's going to help me, talk to my brothers and sisters in Nigeria who are so aggressive, using religion as a weapon to suppress others. Yes, Senegal is a very peaceful country. You can work in tandem with the great Ibrahim Traore. Absolutely. Absolutely. You bet that, man. Ibrahim is my brother and my younger brother, and he's doing a very great job. We are so proud of him. And it's one man that if I have the opportunity, I will hopefully meet him sooner than later. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. I'm so proud of him. So proud of him. He has made Africa great. He has sent a powerful message to the whole of Africa and the world that good things can come out of Africa through leadership. Yes, sacrificial leadership. And he has demonstrated all that beyond reasonable doubt. We want more Ibrahim Traore. We want an Ibrahim Traore. So many Ibrahim Traores in Nigeria. We want more in Ghana. We want them in Ivory Coast. We want them in Sierra Leone, Liberia. We want them in Kenya, Uganda. Yes. We want them in Tanzania. We want them in Burundi. We want more in wherever, all over Africa. Yes, we want them. Yes. Okay, dental clinic. Citizenship can only begin if a vote counts. Someone has proposed that electoral reform in Nigeria will be a place to start from for change, probably in another generation. It is a sad story. Yes, I absolutely agree with you, because I'm working on a blueprint for electoral reform in Nigeria that I'm going to broadcast live, hopefully in no distant time. It will start from somewhere, from background check of who we choose as leaders, those who want to lead Nigeria. We need to develop a background checking system, not just an ad hoc thing that we just do every election. And the truth is that if the Nigerian people want to bring about change, they can do it. Yes, forget about INEC. When the people decide that they want change, who is INEC that will make it impossible? And where they sail through with their fraud like they did in the past, what gives them the guarantee that the people will not go there to take over INEC? What is very important is the attitude of the Nigerian people. They are lackadaisical attitude, I don't care attitude. When one thing happens, they just complain one day and leave and go. And that's it. Nigerians cannot sustain rebellion. They cannot sustain protest. Yes, you know what I'm talking about, because I know you are a Nigerian. That is why you wrote this. And it resonates with what is happening on the ground. The question we should be asking is, why is it that Nigerians cannot sustain protest? Look at what happened in NSAS. They shot some people. Yes, they will shoot. And I feel sad that they shot those people. But did we serve the interest of those people by ending the protest instead of carrying it through to make sure that those people who died did not die in vain? What are they? Their families are the only ones now groaning over the losses. Some of them were kept in the morgue for more than 2 years before they eventually came and gave them mass burial. Yes. So some of those parents and families are now void. They don't even know what happened to their loved ones. I hated that happened. And then another thing that I saw with Nigerian young people is when they turn protest into carnival, like they are making party. They eat and drink, kill cows on the road. No, that will not make any protest go anywhere or make people take you seriously. Because in NSAS, I know how much I supported people. People were calling me, oh, do this, support us this. I supported them, but how did it end? That's another question. We need an electoral reform. There has to be that leader who will be interested in electoral reform. And there has to be a determination, a decision by the people. where the leadership fails to uh, do the electoral reform. The people of Nigeria can come together. They don't have to be under any umbrella of any government to write a blueprint of what they want to see in the next election. Sensitize the people of Nigeria that this is the way it will go. Yes, mobilize for action, and it will happen their way. The power of the people is very much underutilized by Nigerians in Nigeria. Yes, the power of the people is very much underutilized by the people in Nigeria. You see, as lofty as my message is right now, how many, who are they following? They follow Reno Omokri. Or a Reno Omokri who thrives on creating negative situations to make money. Yes. But I tell them, when I tell them, how many people follow me? Yes. How many people are following me? I mean, there's one, I'm not trying to discredit his work. The one they call a very dark man. Sometimes he does something good. The next thing he's doing something like a crazy person. Those are the kind of people our people follow. Follow the right people. The message is there. There is a trajectory. You can refer back to it. It was the same yesterday. It has been the same for a very long time. And it has not changed. Build a movement around these people. I have a movement called Open Nigeria in Nigeria. I don't even know if, I think I put a link on it. So for those who are Nigerians, go to the very top at the beginning. Follow us on Open Nigeria Now movement. Follow the Open Nigeria page. Follow the Open OON page on Facebook. Yes, for a start. So we have this platform. Let us build it. Honestly, let us build it. They say people are scared. I am not scared. If there's anybody that I'm scared of the Nigerian people, because I have been to Nigeria. People tell me, come home, come home. Come home and do what? When you are not ready. When I get home, I don't see you. 2014, 2015, 2017, 2018, 2019, into a senatorial race. I was there. Before I got to Nigeria, you needed to see my campaign. It was like a presidential campaign. Everything mapped out. Things that I know that I can effortlessly achieve for them. If they came out and gave me the mandate that I needed to do it. And I can boastfully say that if I was in the Senate, when what's it called? That terrorist Buhari was president, he will not do 1/10 of what he did to destroy Nigeria. Because I had a blueprint of what I was going to do from inside the Senate to inspire the Nigerian people to seize that Senate. While I am there, I will lead it. I had that plan. Yes. But the people, my people in Delta North, what did they do? They stabbed me in the back. And you know what? I was actually the only candidate who did not have any problem. The one APC did not have a candidate because I left APC. I was in APC. So they started telling me that I came from America. Why should I jump over the people in line ahead of me? You see that mentality? That I have to wait for my turn. I have to line behind somebody, line behind one foot before I can get my turn to serve my country. Even with all that I'm endowed with. And with all the connection that I could have easily exploited here, as somebody who has lived in this country for that long, I know a lot about how to get people to do things to help, advance the cause that I represent. The people blew up the opportunity. They started telling me, and from APC, they started telling me that this one, they were so scared of me that this one, if we allow him into the Senate, it's going to cause trouble for us. Because I was not yielding to any of the things. I was inside the same party. I was criticizing Buhari. They did not like it. They told me that you don't your principal. It's not my principal. He's a citizen. I'm a citizen. So I don't have anything to do with him. Buhari, who claimed that he came for the poor, purchased the presidential nomination form for 44 million. Then I asked him, why are you doing this? So now you put some of us in danger. If you said you represent the poor, you are buying a piece of paper for 44 million naira. Now, that became a problem. They didn't like that I said that. Then Omar again broke into the Senate violently to remove the maze with thugs, with police watching him, and they could not do anything. Can he do that? Can anybody do that here? The snipers will take you down. He did that and threw the maze on the street of Guagalada. Yes. What did he was rewarded. I criticized him on my Facebook page. Over 20,000 people watched it the very first day I released that broadcast. And then my party members were telling me, oh, including my campaign manager, he said I should not have done it. Why am I criticizing my fellow party man? A fellow party man who violated Nigeria. A party man who desecrated the Senate of Nigeria. You want me to close eyes because he's my party man. So I fired my campaign manager later. Afterwards, something else happened. I used the opportunity to fire him because he did not represent my interest. So with all that, I saw that the party did not want a man who can speak the truth. All right, they started holding meeting and excluding me from their meeting. Even one who was supposed to be my close confidant, I called her my sister. She was part of it. Yes, they started excluding me. So I left, and I made the APC popular in Delta. So I left. As soon as I left, the party started crumbling. I went and joined the AAC. AAC, where Shaware was. I thought Shaware was a human being. He was worse. He was chairman of the party. He was presidential candidate of the party. He was the financial secretary of the party. All the money given to the party was routed into his bank account. Yes, his Zenith bank account. Why should the party be run like that? There was a secretary for the party. He was at loggerhead with the secretary because the secretary was asking him questions, let's do this thing right. He didn't want to do it right. And he was the disciplinary officer of the party. So any person he did not like, he will attack them. And then once he attacks them, I don't know what he did to their mind, to their heads. Any person he told them to hate, every member of the party hated him. So I didn't quite like that with him. And I had to I asked him a couple of times. I said, Shaware, what do you want in this party? What do you want us to do with this party? Do you want this election to hold, or you want us to do something that will stop this election from being held? Which is what I would have loved, and I would do it. Shaware Omoyele Shaware is a fraudster, he's a criminal. Forget about all the noise he's making. He works for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He had to make this noise as part of their agenda, as part of their plan. So Ore and Deji Adeyanju, any person who takes them seriously is like taking Fani Kayode seriously, for real. Or taking a Keyamo seriously. Or each other one. The other one. What's his name? Dino Melai. They belong to the same class. The way they think. That's the other. They don't mean Nigeria. So whatever was not in the presidential race, he did not want the party to advance. He had the party down. There was no presidential campaign council. He was darting around the whole world, misleading our people, and then people were donating money. All the money that was donated, he could not account for anything. We asked him to account for the money. He declared the revolution now. Nigerians, look, we got to be serious. For real, we got to be serious. We got to be serious people. We are not serious. And that is why a lot of people, so what it would have been terrible than Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Buhari combined. It does not represent the interest of Nigeria. Let me take a few messages and then we get it down. Yes. All right, my brother. Okay, let's see here. All right, all right, all right. I'm gonna do a broadcast on my idea of a reform, electoral reform. See, a country that is desirous of moving forward, they should ought to have an electoral reform thing going on right now ahead of their so-called 2027. Let me tell you what's going to happen. They will release their own idea of electoral reform 2 weeks and then ahead of their election. I don't want an election to hold in Nigeria. I'm not for it. I don't belong to any political party. I want our people to rise up, uprising, revolution, for a start. Then after we finish the revolution, those who are left, we come down together and decide how to run the country. If they want democracy, we will do a electoral reform and put it on marble that nobody can bend it and change it and do it. We stop this idea of rotational presidency, president from the north and then another one from the east. What is nonsense. If we are truly one country. I want a situation where the best, serially, from best to best. That's what I want. It doesn't matter who the person is. It doesn't matter where he comes from. I don't care what he eats and drink or what he worships, as long as he comes with the intention of doing the work of Nigeria. And that is what I know. And that's what I had always known. And that is what I see in this country that is happening. You see, as bad as things are, with the way things are right now. But the choice that they made is a choice that they made. It wasn't through any backhand deal. People came together, they challenged whoever was, somebody won. When you win honestly, that is okay. Nobody will be contesting it. But in Nigeria, you win an election is held, we have to go to the court to tell us who the winner is. Then why did we file out to vote? We could have just gone to the court and said, okay, I sue you for this position. And then where the judges and lawyers will argue the case and determine who wins. But you bring me out a whole day, standing in the sun or under the rain, and then I vote, and then tomorrow my vote did not count. And then I have to go to the court and waste all my time. Then the judges are there with their hands open, trying to collect money from me to pervert justice. Is that an election? No, that's not an election. Okay, Stephen I am excited to see you do this good job of value reorientation. God bless you and empower you, man. Thank you very much, Stephen. We appreciate you. Much love. Yes, much love. We can do it if we are determined. It's just the determination and to sustain our determination. That is just all that we need to set Nigeria free. It's not like it's impossible to set Nigeria free. The people who created the problem we are trying to deal with, they are human beings with low IQ. But it will require people with a higher consciousness to undo the damage that they have done to Nigeria. It's as simple as that. So with this, we're coming close to the end of this very, very, very explosive and inspiring encounter. I could have stayed more, but I got some more things to take care of, and I really appreciate all of you who took time to be part of this. And I call on fellow Nigerians and the people of the world, Africans, if you are here, you have not subscribed to our channel, please do so right now before we go, because we count on you to get better and better and better and better. We count on you to help us grow, because our plan is to grow organically. Yes, we want to grow organically, and that is exactly what we want. And if we grow organically, we come here with people who are real human beings, people who are willing to share their ideas, people who are willing to teach us something new, those who are willing to actually, oppose us, because we need them too, to give us an alternative views about what they think about what we are doing, so we can argue things out and perhaps reach a compromise and we're going forward. I remind you too, this is a global movement, not just for Nigerians or Nigeria or Africans. If you see what we say, we a global movement. Our interest is in global peace and security and stability. That we came out from Nigeria is something great. Yeah, something good has to come out from Africa, and we are very, very, very appreciative of those who have always joined us in our various live streams. And if you joined us for the very first time today, or you are new to our channel, we encourage you to go back to our previous messages to see what we have done this far. Watch as much as you can. We have over 1,700 revolutionary messages dropped here since 2020. Isn't that great? Yes, we need that exposure. Bring your friends, share our messages. Anything you see that is of interest to you that we did right, don't fail to share it. Share it with another person. So YouTube will continue to recommend us for others to watch. We love you and really love you so much. And thank you for taking your time to be here with us. Bye for now.
Hey, this is Madu, Ajaja.
Hey, special thanks to Jane. Jane, you are here. Much love. Much love. Much love. I love you, Jane. I love Galaxy. Where is Galaxy? Where is Galaxy? Say how I love her when you see her, and everybody. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was, I had fun doing this. So tomorrow we see what's going to happen. We have a big one coming up tomorrow about one charlatan in Nigeria that people listen to, even though he's doing the wrong thing. All right. Hey, Dental Clinic. Wow, great job, star. Thank you. My first time. I hope you subscribed, and we look forward to seeing you again. Yes. Much love. We love you. Thank you very much. And thank you for your contributions. We take every contribution very seriously. And share our channel. Let your friends know that there is a place, yes, like this, so that we can grow together. We love you. The rain is falling. Got to have freedom now. We got to have our freedom now. Got to have freedom now. Nigeria is calling. I feel so high, I even touch the sky, above the falling rain. I feel so good in my neighborhood, so here I come again. I got to have, say what? I got to have, Nigeria is calling. Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel so high, and even touch the sky, above the falling rain. I feel so good in my neighborhood, so here I come again. I got to have, Africa is calling. Don't I lose? Wait up and don't I lose? Wake up and don't I lose? For the rain is falling. Yeah. Nigerians, Africans, Take your stance. Africa is calling. Hey. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Say what? Get up. Stand up. For your rights. All right, all right, all right. Bye for now. Much love, much love.